rumors of pegging. Is any of that? I mean, that's not there, right? Like, Jack wasn't pegging himself on the videos, was he? No. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's a lot of yeses. No.
Hello, all you beautiful and amazing people. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the channel, I'm your host, Hyde. This is Hide and Seek Media, where we talk about news, sports, politics, and so much more. Jack Murphy. People are calling him a grifter for the way he's handled this old article that has popped up and he was questioned about. Ultimately, this all stems from him being asked a question about that article on Elijah Schaffer and Sydney Watson's show during a super chat. And initially he said he didn't want to talk about it. Then it came up again in another super chat. And from what I understand, I'm not a big watcher of Elijah Schaffer and Sydney Watson's show. I know who they are. I've seen them on Timcast. But I've seen their show a couple of times. But I'm not a religious watcher, right? So I don't know exactly how the show goes, but from what I understand, Sydney just reads all the super chats. I mean, you can hear Elijah say it in that video of Jack Murphy when he goes off on Sydney. He says, "Look, she just reads them. She doesn't care." And so somebody else sends another super chat, asks about that same article again. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, it's easy. Just do what I did here and, type in Jack Murphy in the search bar on Twitter and then scroll down. I mean, you'll see what I'm talking about, right? So I'm not going to get into all of the video and all that other hoopla, right? It is what it is. Just like I said, search Jack Murphy on Twitter if you're interested and you want to know what article I'm talking about and why he's being attacked, right? So apparently his real name is John Goldman, but he goes by Jack Murphy on social media, and he started this thing called the Luminal Order, where he helps you become an alpha male, right? So there's a lot of people out there attacking Jack Murphy for the way he handled this situation. While I have an issue with that, right, I kind of have, and I didn't see the entire show, so I don't know what was said to him afterwards, right? All I saw was that clip. So if I'm wrong on this next point, guys, please let me know in the comments down below. But I had an issue not only with Jack and the way he was talking to Sydney in that moment, because as a professional, he should have, held his temper and just, politely said, "I don't want to talk about that. Please don't bring it up again." But he didn't. He blew off the handle, right? And cursed and yelled at Sydney. The problem I have is that Elijah didn't stop Jack dead in his tracks the minute he started doing that. He just let it go. What I don't get is you not defending Sydney in that moment, right? The minute he dropped those curse words and was like, how dare you? You should have stepped in and said, "Hold on a minute. You came on our show willingly. You knew this was how it's going to happen. If you don't like it, you can get up out of that chair and leave. But you're not going to talk to my co-host and friend that way." Now, see, I don't know if he actually said that or not. I'm hoping he did. I didn't see it, right? I didn't see him say that. Now, if I did, somebody please leave a comment down below. Post a link. Let me know where I can go to watch it, right? Because I would love to see Elijah Schaffer defend Sydney in that moment, because he should have done it right then in that moment. Should have stopped Jack right in his tracks and said, "Hey, shut up. You don't talk to her that way. If you don't like the questions being asked, you can leave. But this is how we do things around here. And that's it." Now, like I said, I don't know if he did. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if I'm wrong, right? But I kind of hold Elijah Schaffer accountable until shown otherwise, right? He should have stopped Jack in that moment too. He should have stepped up in Sydney's defense in that moment, not later on, in that moment, and stopped it all from happening. But going back to Jack, look, he did handle that situation wrong. And then he turned around and he added fuel to the fire by blocking tons of people and even really trying to fight this. He should have, if he apologized to Sydney like he said he did on Timcast afterwards, great. If Sydney accepted his apology, great. There's people out there saying that is not true and then that didn't happen. And then you have people saying, Jack is trying to get Sydney fired at the Blaze and, all of this. It's like he's burning all of these bridges down. And I don't know what's going on, if he feels attacked or whatever. But anybody to me who charges $100 a month, right, to teach people how to be men and how to be alpha men, this is not how you become an alpha, by being scared and running away. I mean, all of these people, look, this guy made this artwork for him, right? He's like, hey, when I painted your portrait approximately a month ago, I was unaware of your personal life or professional dealings. I'm not comfortable with my artwork associated with you or your brand. Please stop using it as your avatar immediately. Right? Then he tags a couple of people who have been after Jack, on Jack's case from the very beginning about this stuff. So the thing with Jack, right, is that he's promoting alpha male, strong, manly type manhood bullshit, right? And it's like, look, I don't need to pay somebody $100 a month to coach me into being a man. I'm pretty confident I know how to be a man on my own. And even if I didn't, $100 a month seems pretty steep, right? Now you could pay, I think it's like, he has different steps, for membership. I think the one-time fee is like $3,800, $3,900, right? So I don't know how many members are actually monthly members versus one-time paying members, right? I don't know how much money he's actually losing from the 200 plus members I've heard have left his liminal order, according to Jeremy at the Quartering. Really, one of the things that bothered me about this when it initially happened was that, Elijah Schaffer didn't say anything in the moment. But since then, Jack has both attacked Elijah and Sydney on Twitter, calling for them to lose their jobs at the Blaze, right? And then including Glenn Beck, like he's their boss. He owns the company, but I don't think he has the firing decisions. I think that's probably a board of directors or something like that, right? There's other kinds of management involved. So I don't think he would actually be responsible for firing them. But here, let's listen to what Elijah has to say about that situation, right? Specifically about calling them out and then trying to get them fired.
Things got legal, things got personal, threats were made, things were pushed. There was unnecessary bringing this company into it.
Yeah.
There was attempts to get us fired from our jobs. And that's when I think, dude, that's fucking lame. Yeah. Like that's, I don't know how you feel about it, but it's like after all our, like I said, maybe our greatest crime was being too nice. Like maybe that's literally what it was.
Yeah.
It was. It literally was. Okay. That was your biggest crime, was giving Jack that much leeway, right? The minute he went off, man, you should have stopped him. You should have said, hold up, dude. Real men don't talk to women that way because they're pissed off, right? Find a better way to handle your anger. or get the hell off my set. That's what he should have said at that point, right? But
you come here and then you publicly try to ruin our lives for something we were not a part of.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you do that to us, honestly, it's like, it is. Fuck you for trying to make this something it wasn't.
Yeah.
And coming after Sydney and I, coming after my friend, coming after me, and saying, tagging, you know, by the way, Glenn Beck's not our boss. So he works for the same company we do. And yes, we do call him Daddy G.
Because it's funny.
Yeah, but I meant,
he looks like the chicken man.
yeah. And he looks like he sells fried chicken, and he's very warm and to hug. But also,
He complimented Murphy when Murphy was really little. He's like, what a lovely dog. And I was like,
okay, so you can see in this video right here that Elijah and Sydney go off the rails, right? I haven't watched a lot of their shows yet, but you can see, man, it just, they divert so many times that it's hard to keep up.
lovely, isn't he?
yeah, but I'm
Little
just saying
Smurf
this.
man.
Like, when we're being nice
Yeah.
and mature about things,
Yeah.
against the public's will. The public was wanting us, you know, I told you, like, I even made a White Knight comment because of the messages I get. You should have punched that guy in the face. Teeth would have been flying and Jack would have been dying if I was in the room. Like, motherfucker, you would have killed someone over the F word. Glad you weren't in the room. But I'm just going to say, like, we have thick skin. We deal with shit every day.
Yeah.
Shit's fucked. We make mistakes. We don't always know how to handle things right. We don't claim to know. This is a new show to us. It's a new format. But then at the end of all this, after doing that, and then other things blow up completely out of our control that we are just as shocked as the public.
Yeah.
Things are running and gunning for our jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you. That's retarded. Like, don't.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, right? Jack went after their jobs because he couldn't handle the backlash that was coming because of how he treated Sydney in that interview, right? And that's where all of this stems back to, man. It's like, dude, all of this stuff probably never would have been exposed, or if it would have come out in little chunks instead of one big flood, right? If you would have just, in that moment, said, Sydney, we've addressed this already in a previous super chat. I said before, I don't want to talk about it. That's the end of it. Please don't bring up anything else about that article. I would rather not talk about it. And that's it. I don't know about anybody else, but the one person who hasn't said anything about this that everybody is just waiting to hear from, and he's basically avoiding the topic, is Tim Pool. I've seen a number of videos talk about how Tim has avoided all super chats mentioning Jack Murphy and Sydney Watson and what's going on over the last few videos. And there have been a number of people coming out and saying that the last few people that Tim have had on, Jack Murphy included, and some other people, Fit and something, I don't even remember their names, right? It was Fit and something in Fit, I don't remember. But they were on too, and they've been called frauds by a number of different people on YouTube. So it's really hard to tell what's going on here, because on one hand, I have much respect for Tim. I mean, he's really part of the reason why I started doing what I'm doing, right? But at the same time, I gotta say, you're not calling him out. And, you know, I mean, my thing is, okay, so you don't want to call Jack out on the show or whatever. Okay. How come there is not one reporter that has done a story about the implosion that is Jack Murphy, right? He has gone off the deep end, attacking people on Twitter, blocking people, and basically trying to get people fired off their jobs, their shows canceled, all because he attacked Sydney Watson on her show over reading a super chat, right? Asking about some old article. And if he would have just handled it like a real man, right? And said, I don't want to talk about it, and I would appreciate it if you didn't read any more super chats that have to do with that article or that particular line of questioning, because I don't like talking about it. It's part of my past that I've put behind me, and I'm trying to move forward from. So let's do that. You could have easily said something along those lines, but no, he attacked Sydney. And in return, then he goes on Tim's show, and then, according to Sydney, lies about what happened after the fact. They even post in Sydney's video where she addresses the whole thing. She posts video where it shows after they stop airing or whatever, after they stop taping, Jack gets up and walks out. And as he walks by, he drops the F-bomb to Sydney again. And it's like, that didn't seem very cordial. And then you want to exchange pleasantries. You go out to drinks with Elijah, right? And then you want to try to apologize or whatever to Sydney through DMs or text messages or whatever. That's not how a real man does it, right? That's not how a real man answers to these things. And look, make no mistake about it, I'm not here casting stones at Jack Murphy for any articles he may have written, any experimentation he may have done in his love life or whatever. That's on him, man. He wants to do all that. That's on him. My thing is own it, right? Own it and move on from it. And those who can't move on from it, cut out of your world. It's as simple as that, right? So Jack really is at fault here because of the way he handled, one, the question from Sydney, and in that situation, and two, the aftermath of that. Okay, so you have Sydney has a lot of followers on YouTube, so of course when you attack her, there's going to be a lot of people coming out and white knighting for her and protecting her, and rightly so. Jack was in the wrong in that situation. Was he in the wrong for writing an article or experimenting in his love life in any way? No. Right? And you said that article was from like 6-7 years ago, but the latest stuff that Jeremy from the Quartering put out is from like 2019. And that is some graphic stuff. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to post any of it here. I'm not even going to post links to it. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go on Twitter, search the Quartering if you don't already follow him, and you can see on his Twitter line, on his Twitter feed, what I'm talking about. But that's from like 2019, right? So that's not even old. And even at that, right? I don't care what you did. You did it to make money, so you say, okay, there's 1,000 different ways to make money on the internet, especially in 2019. So you kind of have a thing for it. If that's the avenue you chose, right? Then that's something you enjoy. Look, if it is, it is. Own it. Hey, to each his own. Nobody is going to judge you based on that, but everybody is judging you based on how you reacted and the aftermath to coming, of that going forward. So in the end, man, my biggest problem with all of this is, one, how Jack Murphy handled the situation from the beginning. And if he wants to be a professional and do this stuff or whatever, right? And you can't just drop the F-bombs and say F you to a podcast host who is hosting you and reading super chats, right? And she obviously didn't know what was going on, and rightly so, apologized before even reading the super chat. Hey, I'm sorry about this, blah, blah, blah. Reads it. Okay? Now, in the end, Jack was wrong for the way he reacted and for the aftermath and how he's reacted since because of people attacking him. And look, you got to have thick skin if you're going to be an alpha male, right? And be online. You have to be willing to take whatever criticism people want to give you. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching this video all the way to the end. I know Jack Murphy's story is kind of old news now, but hey, I'm a guy who is doing this at night after working all day at a full-time job and then coming home and taking care of kids and the house and whatever while my wife is at work. And so I'm trying to squeeze this in the 2 or 3 hours I have before I have to go to bed and get back up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go back to work. So I apologize if the video is a little late. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. Smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video and the topic. I love to engage with my viewers, so feel free to fire away. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate everything you guys are doing, and I'll catch y'all later.